It's time now for The Clash. And at least 4 clubs playing in a female football league in Yorkshire have staged a sensational boycott against a team that fielded a trans woman. The action came about after Francesca Needham, a biological male, caused a season-ending knee injury in a match last month. And Needham has now announced that they are quitting women's football. Writing online, I sincerely hope that this issue of perceived discrimination against me can be resolved peacefully and promptly with the full support of the Football Association and the policies they have written and approved. Well, it comes after pool player Lynn Pinches made a big statement by walking out of a national final after she was pitted against a trans athlete. Watch.
Yes, Lynn!
So tonight I am asking, is it fair for female athletes to refuse to compete against biological males? Let me know your thoughts. Email me gbviews@gbnews.com or tweet me @gbnews. The inbox is on fire, by the way, mostly about the Falklands. I'm going to go to those very, very shortly. You can also vote in our poll, can't you? And I'll bring you the results in just a moment. Just before I go to my guest, I want to know what you really think about all of this as well. Is it OK for women to even be asked to play against men? We've seen a season-ending knee injury in football. Some people might think, well, in pool, for example, is there a massive advantage? In darts, we are seeing women, aren't we, in male versions of the darts, and they're doing rather well. Well, to debate all of this, I'm joined by that very pool player that you just saw, Lynn Pinches, alongside fellow professional Alexandra Kunya, who has also refused to play against trans women. And they're breaking off tonight against the social commentator Amy Anzel. All of you, thank you very, very much. Great to have you on the show. Can I start with you, Lynn, and just say, do you think it's fair to actually even be asked to play against a biological man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think that any woman should put herself in a position where she may suffer either physical or psychological harm by playing against a transgender opponent. And I have actually suffered psychological harm because what it does is it damages your confidence, because you know that it's a level that is unreachable, and it doesn't matter how much practice I have or how many hours I put in. If the transgender player is putting in the level amount of practice and hours, they will only get better because they are and were born biologically male, and their brains work completely different in this game. Their bodies are different. They have different broader shoulders, longer reach, bigger hands for bridge shots. There are lots of advantages. They play much faster, so therefore between matches they end up getting longer breaks, like an hour break in between. Sometimes we play a match and we're immediately back on the table. But this is not just affecting your mental health before, during and after a match, because you feel like you've lost before you even start. And I've even heard this story repeated to me from women and girls as young as 18 years old. That one that plays snooker in particular, was heartbreaking statement was that she practices 8 hours a day and feels like she's never going to be good enough. No, she's 18. And,
Okay.
you know, for me, I'm 50 and my career's coming to an end. I did this, you know, for the future of women's sports.
Okay.
And to protect my own mental health.
Absolutely. When I come back, Alexandra, I'll go to you. But I want to get your views on this, Amy. I mean, that's incredibly powerful stuff. You know, damaging women's mental health, potentially damaging their physical health as well. But you think it's all right? You think it's wrong to boycott playing against biological men, do you?
Well, here's the thing, Patrick. It's not like a man dresses as a woman and then goes ahead and plays a game of pool or plays soccer, football, or swims, for example. They have to go through rigorous testing. Their blood testosterone level needs to be in a female range. So this isn't simply a man dressed as a woman put in that position to intimidate women like we have here today. So I think this is completely discriminatory. I think it's transphobic. I think that, you know, there are regulations, there are checks in place that happen annually. Like I said, this is not just a man dressed as a woman who has an advantage over women in general.
OK, Alexandra, I'll go to you now. Some quite strong stuff there. I mean, that label, I don't like this personally, but yeah, obviously Amy's well within her rights to use it, I suppose. But this idea of being labelled transphobic for not wanting to play against someone who was born a man, who I'm assuming in your view just has a genuine competitive advantage. How do you respond to that?
Well, when I first had to play against a transgender player, and I was asked dozens of times what I thought about it, my answer was, I don't see the problem. It's okay. If you want to beat them, just practice more and beat them. But then 2 years have passed, and I cannot unsee the things I've seen in 2 years, and I cannot change my opinion anymore. It's far past that. I understand that your other guest is talking about testosterone levels and all the process they need to go through. And I was the first to say to the newspapers and to everyone that I totally respect. This is not an attack on no one. I said this all along. This is a defense. It's not an attack. Because I do respect all the process these people need to go through to be happy and to live a happy life. What I'm saying here is not a fair field for us women that were born women and we're still women. Because even with all testosterone levels done and all the tests done, you cannot tell me there's no advantages, because I can see it's not true.
Okay, I mean, you know, Amy, these are two women here who actually have direct lived experience of the discussion that we're talking about now. And to just label this transphobia, do you not think that's just wrong?
Well, here's the thing. You know, I read about Francesca Needham and the situation that occurred with her. And I know that, you know, people are obviously not wanting to play against her because they feel that she's stronger, she's taller. But there's so many injuries on the field in soccer, football. You know, every season, hundreds and hundreds, knee injuries, dislocated knees, etc. You can Google it, and there's like dozens and dozens of videos on YouTube where you can see these women, cis women playing against cis women, men playing against men, biological, and they're getting injured, just like this injury that occurred, supposedly because, you know, Francesca's strength and her height. But, you know, look at someone like Serena Williams. She is a massive athlete. She is so muscular. She is so tall. And, you know, people might think, well, she is an advantage because look at her stature, look at her.
Okay, all right. Look, I'm just gonna finish by asking a pretty straightforward question. We'll do it one at a time, though. Lynn, will you continue to say no to playing against biological men? Will that be a hard no from you throughout the course of your professional career?
Absolutely, well, because I'm doing it to protect my own mental health, like I said, and I'm doing it to protect the future of women's sports and the young people that are feeling like they've given up and not good enough. I mean, there's a billiards tournament that's been going for years in Glasgow, and unfortunately, because the most recent winner of that tournament is a transgender participant, that tournament is no longer going to run, and that's been going since 1931. So, you know, if you want to carry on ruining women's sports with inclusion is causing self-exclusion, so it's no longer inclusive.
Okay,
if it's causing self-exclusion.
Alexandra, just quickly, Alexandra, do you think it's cheating?
What? Transgenders playing in the female league?
Yeah.
I think it's not fair.
Okay.
I don't want to talk and make a position about people's intentions, because everyone knows about their own intentions about cheating or not. The only thing I see is, as I told you before, this is not an attack; it's a defense.
Yeah.
And I will not accuse no one of cheating. I see it's not fair.
All right. Look, very, very quickly, because I'm going to get shouted out in a minute, but I've got to go back to you, Amy. You know, do you think that you should maybe be doing more to defend women's rights?
No, I think I should be doing more to defend trans women's rights.
Okay, it was quick. There we go. Lovely stuff. Thank you very, very much. All right, we're gonna have to leave it. Look, I'm sorry, ladies, we could carry this on all evening, and I hope to get you all back on again soon. Thank you, though, very much, all of you.